And that's what today is about. I serve on the Financial Services Committee. I also vice chair the Task Force on Aging and Families. In financial services, we work on those issues like housing and homelessness. And in the Task Force on Aging and Families, I'm tackling everything there from lowering the cost of prescription drugs to an Older Americans Bill of Rights to the solvency of Social Security, fighting for our grand families, which is a growing family model, and also for our LGBTQ seniors. And I think it's important to be strident and unapologetic. 2 days ago, I was in a committee hearing fighting to advance a bill that I'm an original co-sponsor of. It's the LGBTQ Data Inclusionary Act, which would require federal agencies in their demographic collection to include the LGBTQ community. And I would not think that something like that would be met with resistance. Yes, I'm still an eternal optimist. But in fact, it was. But we're going to get that done because we recognize that in order for people to feel seen and heard and for their needs to be met, they have to be counted. So, on this day, we stridently and unapologetically affirm that housing is a human right, that everyone is deserving of that, including and especially our LGBTQ plus seniors. You can clap on that. It is my desire, my prayer, my hope, my duty to ensure that every single person can show up in the world fully, authentically, and unapologetically as themselves, without fear, without discrimination in a learning community, in your workplace, and certainly not in your home. I first became aware of the discrimination that many of our LGBTQ plus seniors face through State Representative Liz Miranda. And it was heartbreaking to me that many could consider having to recloset themselves in order simply to have housing. Everyone deserves to live their truth, fully, authentically, unapologetically. And everyone deserves more than shelter. They deserve a home and a community. And so again, that is what this is about. And the fact that this historic housing model is breaking ground in the Massachusetts 7th, well, that is in and of itself gives me a tremendous source of pride. And then finally, this is a demonstration of the best kind of collaboration. Those things that are community-driven and government endorsed and supported and invested in. Again, it's a model and a reminder of what is possible. So, happy Pryde, period. Happy and congratulations on this historic groundbreaking of the Pryde, Boston's first dedicated LGBTQ-friendly housing development for our senior Bostonians. And again, I want to thank my fellow Hyde Park resident and community builder Gretchen Van Ness and the entire team at LGBTQ Senior Housing, Inc. for the invitation to join you all here today. And thank you for your labor of love on behalf of all of our seniors. The Massachusetts 7th, this is a vibrant, diverse, and dynamic district. And that is in large part due to the contributions of the LGBTQ community. And in order for this to truly be a just community, an inclusive community, we must leave no one behind. And so I'm so grateful that many will be able to have a home here. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. So my phone is starting to blow up to say the weather might be coming. So we want to make sure we can get through all the speakers, and so we're going to move this along pretty fast, and we're going to try to get the shovels before the lightning comes. So, but I did want to say quickly that from great remarks, Congresswoman, and from the city, you have an amazing team that works with you, Sheila and Jessica and Rihanna and Kelly, amazing group that really put this deal together, and I think I have them all on speed dial. So clearly this is a big building behind me, and a big building needs a lot of money, and a lot of that money came from the state. Over $25 million came from the Baker-Polito administration. And a few things I want to say before I invite it up is we're not the only ones that get all that money. You're doing a lot of tremendous work, and not just with housing, with the whole affordable housing and equitable community with homeownership and zoning and TOD. So we really appreciate your work.
Thank you, Charlie. It's great that we're all in the shade at the moment. But I just want to say how proud I am on behalf of our administration to be part of such an historic moment. This is an incredible accomplishment. You know, you can set policies as a mayor, as a congresswoman, and us as leaders of the executive branch with our colleagues in the legislature who are here today. You can make it a priority to set a housing agenda that is inclusive, that is responsive, and that is important for the future health of our communities and our Commonwealth. But if you set the policy, you need a whole lot of money and resource to also make it happen. So you get policy, you get dedicated resources. I'm thrilled that we have state, municipal, and federal partners all working together, knowing that our commitment to housing is critical for the future success of our states across our country. But then you need a team of people that are back at the office actually doing the work to actually put those policies into play, put those resources to the table, and actually get this done. I want to give a big shout out to Kate Racer, DHCD, to the neighborhood development. I'm just looking at this sign here. Take a look at all the incredible partners that have made this happen, including Penrose stepping up and not walking away from an important project like this. Many would, looking at the daunting task of reusing this building for this purpose. But what comes about as part of this is, in Massachusetts, we don't shy away from doing things first because they're complicated, messy, and hard. We gravitate toward that. And we take on the first, we figure out how to get it done, we develop the playbook, and guess what? We'll see a lot more of this kind of housing, specialized and friendly and inclusive and supportive to LGBTQ residents of our community, and do this in perpetuity and show the others how it can get done, so that there is no excuse. It's complicated, we don't have enough manpower, people power to get this done, because we have the playbook. So there's a lot that we stand for in support of today, including handing off that playbook to many others that can see this kind of housing be possible in their community. 74 units of housing, but those units are home. And when you look at this building as one large home, I am so happy for the residents who will live here, the older residents, although I don't think 62 is all that old. But this is a population of people who lived in secret, lived with a lot of challenges, and not living in a community that was supportive for most of their lives. And they deserve to have this opportunity in this community, to have fun, to be successful and happy with each other and in this Commonwealth. And let me just say one more thing. This isn't just a first for the city and the Commonwealth, it's a first for New England. All right. So with that, I want to say thank you to everybody. Should I turn it over to Undersecretary Maddox?
We're going to have the Secretary of Hyde come.
All right. Michelle, come right up and you'll get your proper introduction.
Hello, Boston. I am Michelle Perez. I'm the Assistant Deputy Secretary for the Office of Field Policy and Management at the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And on behalf of Secretary Marcia L. Fudge, I say to you, happy Pryde. I think this development represents two major pieces that I want to make sure I beat the lightning so that you can hear all the other speakers, so I will be brief. But I do want to say this. This surrounds two major focuses that have been well responded to, well focused on by this administration, and that is one, making sure that everyone has our way home. The president recently issued a housing strategy plan that is going to increase the affordable housing supply in the next 5 years, and that may sound like a stratospheric goal in the world that we are in right now. We understand the challenges, but what it means is being in places just like this and amplifying the work that is happening just like this for the people who need it most. I want to say to you, congratulations for the work, the hard effort, and the connections that you've made in building this, because we know it can be done, and we know that it will be done again and again and again.